Okay, so part two, left paddle movement. I'm just going to stick to moving the left paddle. As I said, I want to try and keep these videos short. So we go into our scripts folder, we create a new C# script and we call it left paddle. When that's compiled, we'll open it up in Visual Studio. Now we need to add some variables, so let's have a think what we need. We need move speed, we need position, we need the rigid body, and float for input. So I've already pre-made these. We've got a serialised field float for paddle speed. I've just set that to 10F to start with. I'm sure that'd be a little bit too fast. We've got a float for our paddle position, which I've set to -8 because we already know that that's the position that we set the paddle up to. We've got a float for our vertical input. This will be where we grab it from the input manager. And we've then got a reference to our rigid body that'll be attached to this paddle. Okie doke. So first thing we're going to need to do is get a reference to the rigid body. So we grab that. Okay, so we've got RB, which is this here, and we're going to do get component rigid body. I've highlighted commented all of this, so as we're going along you should see it. The next thing we need to do is obviously move the paddle up and down, so let's create the code for that. Okay, so we're using our vertical input float, and we're going to use input get access raw and the vertical axes. That should allow us to move it up and down. We need to move it, so we need to create the fixed update function. So we get rid of private because we don't need private. By default, all of this is set as private. So let's grab the code for that. Okie doke. So we've got our rigid body. We want to get the velocity. We want to set a new vector 2. We want to keep it in the X position. And we're going to times it by the vertical input and the paddle speed. As it's in fixed update, we should really need to add times time dot delta time or time dot fixed update, because it runs on a constant loop. And the last method we're going to need is going to be a method to reset the paddle once either your friend or the computer has scored a point. So let's add the code for that. Okay, this will be a public method because we need to call this from our game manager. We don't need this transform. I'm grabbing this code from a previous project, so it was a lot easier for me to write it out. But this was part of my Arcade Academy. So I'm just basically copying and pasting the code from that for these first couple of lessons. So that should be all the code that we need for our left paddle. We can get rid of these using collection. We don't need those. We now save that. Jump back into Unity. And we'll attach it to our left paddle. Fingers crossed, if we hit play, we should be able to move up and down. As you can see, the ball's bouncing away nicely. We remove the gravity from that, and that paddle's dropped down. So if we go to stop, ball, we want to freeze its rotation. We want to set the gravity scale to 0. And again, our right paddle, we want to set gravity, and our left paddle gravity to 0. I completely forgot about those in the last lesson. We're all human. I'll leave this in. As you can see, I often make mistakes. Normally I cut them out, but I'll leave these in. Let's click play again. Okay, nothing seems to be going awry with the other two, but if we hit left, up and down, we can see our paddles moving up and down. I'm going to leave the speed at 10. I'm quite happy with that, because I might make the AI a little bit mean later on. But I think we'll again call that quits for this lesson. We'll try and keep them nice and short. What we'll look at doing in the not in the final, in the next lesson, is we look at bouncing the ball about. So we create an empty box collider here so it doesn't bounce off the screen, and we look at firing the ball off in a random direction. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.